how do you challenge them enough to gain something from it without doing it so hard that you get upset and break down that trust? It's a real fine line of figuring out, like, how do you get them better but not fail? On Saturday night, I like to do a little bit of a demonstration, and we talked about doing it when we first started talking about doing it. We thought, is it a good idea to do it or not? And some of the people that were there, I knew pretty well, and they were like, yeah, do it. And the reason we were hesitant to do it was because it's not, I don't want anyone to think we're doing it to show off, because that's not it. I do think it's valuable because usually when we go to do it, our dogs make plenty of mistakes, and it's really valuable to see it and to see how we handle it. And I think I learn a little something from it every year about myself and my dogs, and it's a very different level of handling, because I could come out here in the evening and set these things up, and I just don't, they go really good and I feel really good about them, and then you come and you get a crowd of people and it affects us. Like, we're real conscious of how our dogs look and how they send. So it's kind of turning the tables on us a little bit. The reason we want to do this is I do think it can be a little motivational to see the dogs do some of the stuff that they do. We have come to, I will be the first to admit that the 3 dogs that we're gonna work tonight, Ellie, Taylor, and Callie. Callie's been worked pretty good for the last couple months, but that's all I've had her. These 2 have not done much. Ellie definitely has not done much. So Ellie is in, you're gonna notice her shape. She recently we got her to whelping a litter and we lost the puppies. Just happened last week. It was a really tough thing. I haven't told anybody, so I have a hard time talking about it too, but I haven't told anybody. Not because we're hiding it, but I'm not ready. You guys, I know you enough. I feel ready. The great news is she's extremely healthy. She's going to be just fine going forward, and you're going to see what she really loves to do tonight. So I'm excited to share that. Callie, we've been working quite a bit. Taylor, I never work with because she's just the natural. You work with her. True story. So I'm going to do a few blind retrieves with them. It'll require some handling probably, because they're not going to know where these are. So blind retrieve is, I went out there and I put them out. I've got one in the middle of that field. I've got 2 in the corner. And so I'm making sure I got 2, because when you set up blind retrieves, you really got to remember how many you put out there, because God forbid you send a dog and you ask them to go through all this stuff and they get out into there and you didn't have a dummy for them. That can really take away their confidence, because they go, I thought I did everything right and I didn't get the reward. I didn't get the find. They think they did something wrong. Chris is going to set up a different drill. He's going to show us some more handling work. I'll let Chris explain it when he gets to doing it. Megan is going to set us up with a circle memory. We talked about memories towards the end of the day today. Trailing memories, sight memories, circle memories. How many, are you going to do 1 dummy in the circle? Yeah. Okay, so she's going to do a single dummy in a circle memory. You can run as many dummies as you want in a circle memory. You can get, the beauty of these drills that we're going to show you are, it allows us to get pretty creative. It allows us to have a lot of fun with training in a lot of different scenarios. But I think the other thing that I want to really stress, and hopefully you take away from it, is you see some of the reasons why we did all the stuff we've done so far and we'll do tomorrow. Some of it you'll see tomorrow and it'll be, oh yeah, I get it. I remember that's where they did that yesterday in that demonstration. And without a real good foundation, we don't stand a chance at any of this stuff. Because none of this stuff that we're doing is super complicated. It's not super hard, but it's not the easiest thing in the world either. So it's somewhere in the middle. We've done more complex setups in the past, and quite honestly, I don't know that my dogs are prepared for those types of setups. Could we do them? Maybe, but I also live by this little rule of if I think it's a maybe, we probably shouldn't do it. Take a couple steps back, just like when we were out in that hayfield and I said, we're gonna do the steadiness, and whatever you think you're comfortable doing, make sure you're gonna be able to do it, because I don't wanna end this session with I think I can do it, and then it doesn't happen, and then we try to like figure out how do we salvage the session. So I don't want to turn this into a real circus before we go have a bonfire and I drink a bunch of Natter Days. I mean, geez, that's no way to set the tone. This is them 100% trusting me that there's a dummy out there. They do not know where the dummy is. I'm saying go that way, and they're going okay. So the other thing I think you should look at is, remember if you were in our group for retrieving, over in that field, if you remember, I've got some mowed paths, a straight one and 2 angled ones that go out. This is a big version of that. This isn't a mowed path. This is a funnel and a funnel and a funnel. It's just a bigger scaled version. So we don't start out on this. We start out on the mowed path that's real precise and small, and we use bright white dummies at the end of it so they can see them, and then we progress and we slowly add layers of complication. So for her, we're gonna send her down this big alley. Heel. Watch. Okay, I'll go back. Here. I don't like that start. So I want her going right there. If the first 3 steps are off, I'm already trying to figure out how to correct the line. So what do? Take 2 steps forward. Come on. Callie, go back. Go back. Good. Good. Real nice. She wanted to go hug that edge. She also wants to hug the edge coming back. I'm gonna let her, I'm not gonna fuss about it. Good. Good. The reason I stopped her was as soon as she got out, at the point where that opens up, that's where she started to come back. And if you saw when I stopped her on the whistle, did you see what her head did? She's going, I have no idea. No idea. She's telling me right there, I don't know where it is, Dad, but I will stop and I will look at you. And eventually she did look at me. It took her a little while, but she stopped to that whistle, understanding that he wants to talk to me. And then she went like this on her own, independently, looking around, nothing, I don't have anything. So now she looks to me. Taylor, this one's a lot tougher. Taylor, come on. The slowest working dog in the bunch. Grandma. Come on, Grandma. Yeah, Grandma, literally. Spry is Taylor's puppy. Now, you're gonna see a very different style of work here. She's methodical. When she commits, she does pretty well. She's not the most confident as far as she might check in. She might pop a little bit for me. We'll see. Now, as I look out there, here's what's going to get in the way. There's a crown in the field. When she goes up and over the field, we're going to lose sight of her for a little while. That's as hard on me as it is her. It is hard for her to get up and over because it's like running into an infinity pool. You just don't know what's on the other side. So will she carry that through? And then if I don't stop her before she gets over the hill, I don't have a chance to handle her anymore. I'd have to get on a ladder to give her directions. So again, this starting point, the line to start out with is really important. If you start out off a little bit, you're going to be in trouble. That's why I recalled her and started her back. Watch. Taylor, go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Get out. Get out. Get out. Good. Get out. No. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Come on. Come on. Good. Go back. Get out. Good. Good. Get out. Get out. Good. Good. Get out. Good. Good. Get out. Get out. Get out. Good. Get out. Get out. She's really thinking right now. She just can't get herself to go. Good. Get out. Get out. Good. Get out. Get out. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Come on. Right here. All the way. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Come on. Good girl. Right here. Right here. Right here. Sit. Ellie.
Ellie, no. Get over here.
Ellie.
Here.
Ellie, come on. You sit. Ellie, come on. Come on. Heel. Ellie, go back. Go back. Get out. Get out. Good. Good. Get out. Good. Get out. Get out. Get out! Get out! I don't know what's there. Good. Get out. Go back. Go back. Get out. Get out. Get out. Now I don't see her and she's got to be close. Good. Good. Now, do I want to handle my dog 27 times to get her back to that corner? Not at all. But for whatever reason, I've got a dog that wants to go, wants to go, wants to go. Showed it here, showed it there. So, was that great? No. Dead. Good. Sit. Sit. Taylor. Taylor heel. But what I give her a lot of credit for is sticking with it. Watch. Taylor, go back. Go back. Go back. Taylor, go back. Good. Go. Go back. Go back. Get out. Get out. Good. Good. Go back. Good. Good. Go back. Good. Go back. Get out. She doesn't have it in her mouth, does she? No. Go back. Challenging enough. More than enough. Now, tough Are scenting conditions that good? I don't know. Good. 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 Dead. Good. Now, that was asking an awful lot of them after the 10th cast. But we didn't give up and we got out of it. I'll call it a win.
Good, come on. Go. Feet here. Back. You went a little early.
She really read you.
Like that. Cool. Good. Good, come on. Come on. Good. Really not too bad. She went early. And she kind of took advantage of me, so I'm a working man just like everybody else here. I've been on overtime the last couple of weeks, so we haven't done a whole heck of a lot of training. But to build off of that drill, what we can do is do our trailing memory just like normal, go out, drop our bumper on our way back, stop halfway, and throw a bumper off to one side or the other. And when we stop her between the two. And if she wants to bias the last thrown bumper, then I'm going to stop her and back cast her. And if she wants to stop straight, like she's going to go straight back, I can stop and send her to that diversion bumper. So now what we have here is a blind that's set up. It's not nearly as long as the ones he set, but this is a hanging blind. So I got the bumper 3 feet or so off the ground, so it's going to throw her for a little bit of a loop. I don't know that we've done this yet this year, but she's done it before. So.
And a hanger is really challenging for a dog because the scent is totally different and they're not used to picking stuff up that isn't on the ground. So to go and start to not only not look for it on the ground, but to actually use your nose, realize it's not on the ground, pick it up in the air, and then figure out how to get it out of that tree can be really challenging. It's a lot harder than you think.
My line is going to be really important. I'm going to try to shoot her between the swing set and that white pipe. If you can see, the bumper is hanging straight in that line. Get out. Good. So she just left it, then I'm going to stop whistling here.
Okay. Is it on?
Yep.
Okay.
Good, find it.
So at that point, they're totally smelling it, right?
I just saw her nose go up. She touched the scent right now.
So she's getting out of the way. Don't let her up now. Good. You see her head come up? Good. Good.
Oh, yeah, they start.
Yeah.
Does she have to leap up and grab it? Yeah.
Good. Get it. Maybe it's a little tall for her, I think. Good. Good girl. Good.
I used to have a lab that climbed trees.
Good girl.
Great work.
That was
Good.
That was awesome.
Real tough. That was a very tough setup. You notice feathered bumpers. My dogs found the feathered bumpers first. That's almost a must when you start doing blind retrieves. You got to have some scent to it. We don't throw grass. No, you're not going to. No, you're not going to. Did you want to go to bed?
You want to explain what she's doing?
How is her setup? I'm not sure. How is her setup going to be here? How is her setup going to be? Walk us through it.
She's going to come back to probably just about in front of me and send her across the water, across the land, through the water, and back up. But she went and found a big white bumper just for the same reason you were talking about, to give Lark really something to look at and something to concentrate on.
Sure. Now the biggest thing I see with this setup is, this is a tough setup because you're going water, land, water, land. And typically the way I would do that would be, I'd start in the middle point and I'd get a dummy, I'd maybe make a loop. If I want to set it up as a trailing, how I would set it up is I actually wouldn't do it as a circle. I'd walk out onto that point and I'd throw the dummy over and send the dog. Let him swim across the one water and get up on the land and then come back. And do that a couple days in a row where they get it. Go across the water, go up on the land, come back. Then I'd come back and I'd do the same thing here. And because now you're going double. So I'd start back, setting it up so that we learn the very end first, and then the middle, and then the beginning.
Okay, so Lark, instead of taking the line across, so she took it more as a trailing memory.
And she said, you know how fast I am? Do you know how long it would take me to swim there?
So maybe we can get Megan to take her to go out onto the point.
So what I would do is go to the point, pitch across, get the dog to understand, because you get out on that point and the dog doesn't have another option. If the dog goes to come off of that, we're going to tell her no, and we're going to get her back and we're going to say you go across the water to get it. So it's a much easier process. It's a very challenging setup to go water, land, water, land. Right.
That return, when she sent her, was probably 3 seconds. By the time it went around the entire pond and they came back, that was so freaking fast.
There's a large part of me that thought Lark was going to try to jump the first water. You know, that's her train of thought. She's like, I'm going to do this big.
So when you see that setup, I think you break it down now, and you take a pretty complicated thing and break it into 3 steps and teach 1 step at a time, and then start connecting 1 to 2, 2 to 3.
But it's nice that she's doing it all on her own. You know.
Yeah.
Proud of her.
And what I really like about that one is that one's perfect because that dog might not even have to get out of the water to come back, which makes it less likely for it to run the bank on the way back. So a nice little thing there you could do is just leave it just short of the bank, so the dog never leaves the water. And then they're really likely to be in the water, and you can get them really excited about turning around and coming back to you, and now you get them going out. But that return is tough. And so it takes a really special setup to get dogs to always go across water, come back on water, go across water. And so like at our cabin, we've got a great setup for it. There's a channel that comes through. There's a big part of the lake, then there's another part of the lake, and there's a narrow channel. And I can always throw dummies on the other side of the channel. The dog doesn't have a chance of running around because it's a mile to get back. So they have to go across the water. And once they accept that going out and coming back isn't that bad, they'll do it really willingly. And then we've got lots of little peninsulas that are kind of like this.
So this is a trailing memory, what she's doing now.
Yeah, a hybrid version of it.
Why is it hybrid? Because it's over water?
Because there's not a straight line. So a trailing memory, I want to turn around, come back, send right back on that trail. So this is a quasi-trailing, quasi-loop kind of little bit of.
She's trying to send it through the water. Oh yeah, there she goes.
Now see how she's going to take the second water? So here's a good way to hurdle that. Stand where she is and throw to the peninsula. And let the dog go pick that one up and come back. And then what you can do is after you do that several times, the dog starts to understand, go across this water, go across that water, go across both waters. So you kind of link them up together.
Another thing you could do is if you're set up for it, if it's nice weather like this, you could actually go into water yourself a little bit and send the dog through the water. Oh wow! And they're
not going to get out of the water to run around. They're just going to go. It's a good idea. So there's so many different ways. When you look at what your setup is, there's a lot of different approaches to figure out how do I get there. And I almost always think the best thing to do is simplify it and break it down. So for me, from a blind standpoint, so Callie handled hers really well. Well, here's the secret. For the last 2 weeks probably, I've worked what's called a memory blind with her. I started out, there's no way she could have picked that one. She never would have ran a straight line. She never would have ran it as far as she did to it with one whistle stop. She broke down, she would have broke down and hunted in this little area right here. So, and she did. And so when we started out with a blind there. And then I moved the blind back a bit, and then I moved the blind back a bit, and then I moved the blind, and over about a week probably before I could get it to where we sent to here. So she's probably picked that up. She's picked a dummy up in that field probably 5 times in the last 2 weeks. It's trying to figure out how do you challenge them enough to gain something from it without doing it so hard that you get upset and break down that trust. It's a real fine line of figuring out like how do you get them better but not fail. And sometimes fail can be really positive, but just don't make it so bad that you don't get anything out of it. Like mistakes are really great opportunities to learn stuff.